Hi friends, it was the weekend here in Bryson City and I thought I'd document a few days for you as a full-time artist running her own shop. This particular Friday morning I was working on an art piece for a house that I'm decorating. It's a 2-canvas piece consisting of an elk and a bear, and my main goal in the morning was to get some layers of color down. While I was waiting for color to dry, I switched to signing and packaging some smaller art prints. I will usually print out about 100 different pieces of artwork that I've done, and I choose different pieces every single time I print. These are great sellers in my store because they cover a wide variety of subjects and there's always something that appeals to almost everyone. Once the packaging was done, I used my pricing gun to label and price them, and then they are displayed in large wood bowls around the store. Lunchtime came around soon, and it was time for Wookie and I to walk down and get something to eat from the food truck. For the past few days, there's been a large wildfire about 5 miles south of downtown that the firefighters have been very busy with. That plume of smoke right behind the trees is the fire. This is 1 mile north of the fire from my house. It's definitely been something that has kept everyone on edge this week. We've had helicopters landing in the river to pick up water and large airplanes scooping up water on nearby Fontana Lake to assist our local firefighters. Back at the store, I ate my lunch and scrolled and checked all of the evacuation notices for our area. After a small rush of customers, I then had time to layer some more colors into my project. Here's one of my little canine customers for the day. This little guy's name is Buddy, and he gave me a sweet little growl. Saturday is obviously the busiest day for a retail store, so while town was still getting their coffee, I worked a little bit on my bear and elk paintings. As town began to pick up in traffic, it was easier for me to work on a smaller piece while I had a steady stream of customers coming in and out. The portrait I'm working on is a little commissioned piece of a sweet guinea pig that was named Sock. At lunchtime, Wookie and I walked down the street. My husband is one of the owners of the outdoor store and tap room on the corner, and he was having his 10-year anniversary sale. That's him waving hello when he sees me. The food truck special was trout tacos, so I got those. When it's very busy, I'm able to get a lot of work done. I just have to pick projects that don't take a lot of thought. So I'll often start prep work on projects that have several steps. But then, of course, I had to quickly move everything to wrap up a large painting that I had sold. Here is some Wookie footage just for fun. Wookie has her own little bunk underneath my store counter, and she is so content there with all her toys. Most customers never even have a clue that I have a shop dog. Wookie jumped into my truck at the county dump almost 7 years ago on my birthday. She's about 11 years old now. She used to have some serious snaggle teeth, but she's slowly lost them over the years. Okay, now back to actual work. I finally got the bear and the elk paintings to a point where I wanted them. Here's a close-up of some of the texture. I actually will have to spray these with varnish because I did use some pencil and chalk in them. Wookie and I decided it was time to go on a walk and check on the status of the wildfire. The good news is that storm clouds were finally starting to form and the likelihood of rain was picking up. I have a small grassy area in the back of the house we restored next door. We used to have a lot of feral cats in the yard until we built a fence, and Wookie is always still looking for them. It's starting to feel like spring and all the little flowers are starting to show up. Wookie likes to chase and eat bees, which can be disastrous some days because she also gets stung a lot. I'm so lucky that my husband has a business right down the street from me, so he often walks over to talk or get IT help. The project I'm working on here is painting these metal shingles that I saved from the house next door that we restored. These 10 shingles are over 123 years old. I do a lot of prep work beforehand on these, cleaning and sealing them first so then I can paint on them. Eventually, each shingle will have 2 holes punched into the top and then we'll have wire formed into a hanger. Customers love to be able to take home an actual piece of Bryson City history with them. On Sunday, I took my time getting into work and I brought prints with me that needed to be cut down into an 8x10 size. I always wear white gloves when doing this to keep fingerprints off of them. It was almost lunchtime as soon as I got to work, so Wookie and I walked down to the food truck to check out what they had, and we were happy to see that it was starting to rain even heavier, so the wildfire would probably be put out. This is one of Wookie's biggest fans. His name is Mike, and she's always happy to see him. I ate my lunch, and don't tell my family, but I do give Wookie some of my chicken. And yes, if you haven't noticed, lunchtime is one of my favorite parts of the day. Getting back to the shingles, I was writing on the back of each one that they date back to circa 1902 and that they come from the Hazel House. I typically take these home and spray them with an oil-based finish, so they have to dry completely so that I can stack them up and take them with me. I'm happy to report that the wildfire is now completely contained, and so our little town is in the clear for now. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos soon.